Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, host of a Totally Turtle sports and gaming YouTube channel, and you're listening to the Case and Lunatics Podcast Network.
Yada, yada, yada. There was another show. That's right, kids. Welcome back to another episode of Salty and Petty. She is very salty.
And obviously, he's the king of petty. And together, we are the Salty and Petty Podcast.
Salty, Petty, by your powers combined, you are internet royalty.
Definitely.
That's right. So yes, today we'll be talking all about. We've been threatening this since we mentioned that we were doing this show, Seinfeld. You all know we love the Seinfeld.
And don't think it's just gonna be one episode of Seinfeld.
No.
It's gonna be many. This is the first of many podcasts. It had 9 seasons and 180 episodes. We got a lot to talk about.
Love the sign.
Hate the sign. And I will just say I have a very controversial opinion.
Okay.
I love Seinfeld, but Curb Your Enthusiasm is the superior show. With just as many seasons, if not more, if I'm not mistaken, and probably the same amount of episodes. Now, season 1 of Curb Your Enthusiasm, very, very rough start, but so was Seinfeld.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
So, I don't know. I think if you relate to George most as a character, Curb Your Enthusiasm will be the superior show because I relate to George. I don't know why. I just do.
And because he was based on Larry David, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was the co-creator. I think, would he leave in season 7 or season 6? It was one of the later seasons, and then after he left, you saw a very different change. It was if for better or for worse, whether you like it or not, it was a noticeable change when he left.
Oh yeah. Very
yeah, I do enjoy Curb Your Enthusiasm, so if you've never watched it, you better watch it. It's on HBO Max. They could take it off at any moment, so if you don't own the DVDs, stream them expeditiously on HBO Max.
That's why I need to pull the trigger on. I never watched that. I need to. I'm
going to tell you, first season's rough to get through, but after you get through, you need the first season, though. You cannot skip the first season, unfortunately. You need that base layer of understanding. And then it just, clouds open up, and it's just a hilarious roller coaster from then on, in my personal opinion. I know some people say it takes till season 3. I say season 2. It's just taste, but yeah.
Well, again, the first season of the Seinfeld Chronicles, wasn't exactly. Yeah.
Yuck. Oh my God. So let's just get into it. Today we're just kind of going to go reminisce about our favorite episodes.
Yes.
Feel free to write in and let us know your favorite episodes. We'll either discuss it next week if you send it in, or the next time we do a Seinfeld episode. So yeah, let's just, like I said, 180 episodes. It was a lot for me to think about. I mean, a lot of scenes and quotes stand out, but then I have to think my favorite episodes. And I know, right off the bat, in my top 10 is The Race. I love The Race. It's one of my favorites. That's from season 6, episode 10, if you don't know. It's the one where he is obviously racing. He's dating this girl that he's
Lois
Lane. Yeah. So we get a lot of Superman references, stuff like that. So
oh yeah, that is
hilarious.
That is funny because when the guy from high school is like, we're gonna race again, and he doesn't know Jerry and George still know each other, and George comes in. Yeah, I love that. You do a lot of that.
He's like, your shoes.
Yeah, because he says he's a millionaire, but he's like, is that a hole in your shoes? That canvas, is it? No, I love how he's
honestly, any rich people in New York, that's how their shoes look. I'm just gonna be real with you. The real old rich people in New York, yeah, they got holes in their shoes. You wouldn't know to look at it. It's a $10,000 coat.
Oh, I'm a comedian. Oh, I do a lot of. Did you ever notice? Yeah, it feels like a lot of guys doing that. Oh, I went pretty bald there, didn't you?
Honestly, it's like it amazes me that George and Jerry actually stayed friends, because a lot of time you feel like they don't really like each other. It's just kind of circumstances. So that kind of in that episode, it kind of highlights some of that little headcanon that I have in mind. They're just friends out of spite. And you know the Seinfelds don't like the Costanzas, so it's just like, why are y'all still friends?
Oh yeah, the parents.
Because usually when you're kids, you know, especially if it's your best friend, usually it is that you like either live next door to each other or your parents are best friends. That's usually just generally how it goes, especially for like boys. I feel like boys are friends out of like convenience and circumstance. It's not like you pick each other. It's just like, oh well, we're here together. We spend, you know, we're here 5 days a week. You know, 32 weeks out of the year. We have all the same classes. Yeah, let's just be best friends.
Oh yeah, they went to high school together. Remember?
And college, allegedly.
Oh, yeah, allegedly. Yeah.
I don't think either one of them went to college, but or didn't graduate, which is no shame. No shame. I did not finish my PhD program because that was just too much school. Too much school. I hate school. I don't even know why I made it that far.
Well, their backgrounds are so fuzzy in this show because it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no continuity in this show. Forget about it.
No, because is it like one episode where I think George mentions a brother we never see or mention him?
Oh, that is the classic 90s sitcom. They went upstairs and were never seen again.
Well, we never even saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so many times. Oh, the old Chuck Cunningham. It is not the Judy Winslow. It is the Chuck Cunningham, okay? Know your TV before you open your mouth.
Or, I mean, unless we never mention them, I don't think any of the main cast has any siblings. I mean, we never
has a sister, right?
Oh, maybe, but we never see her.
We never see her, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I know she mentioned she had a sister, so.
Oh my!
Actually, we know more about Jerry's mother and father. Well, specifically his mother, because Uncle Leo is her brother.
Mm-hmm.
And we meet the Nana.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we met Elaine's cousin. The napkins.
Oh yeah. Grandma Memo. Yeah. We met Elaine's dad.
Oh, that is also in my top 10 episodes. Although, you know, does not age well. Must repeat. But like I said, as a child of the 90s, I don't think that our shows have to age well.
No.
It was perfect for its time, and not everything has to or needs to be timeless. It's literally like a time capsule. It's like, yeah, all this would be solved with a cell phone now. Big whoop guy on TikTok. Big whoop.
And again, yeah, episode 1 aired July 5th, 1989.
Much like The Simpsons, completely classic 90s show, actually debuted in 89. But to be fair, it was like a Christmas of 89 for The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that pilot was so rough. It was poor reviews. They passed on the show. It's very much the story of how the show ends is actually the reference to how the show actually got picked up. They're like, nothing else is on. We got a new person in charge. Let's try it again. Because I will say that, you know, maybe that in 89 Seinfeld was like, you know, not that guy in the tri-state area. You know, it was much more of a Norm Macdonald kind of world at that time.
Oh yeah,
a little bit harsher, a little bit more coarse, a little more sardonic humor. And then around like 1991, 92, Seinfeld, even without the show, Jerry Seinfeld still would have been a huge comedian. Because I mean that kind of humor, it was inoffensive. It was very much, you know, he was very much the Jewish Cosby when, you know, Cosby cleaned up his act because he was a dirty comic back in the day. If you don't know, love all of Bill Cosby's old stuff. Even due to the circumstances, but like when he tried to clean up his act, it was just like, okay, family friendly, get your check, I get it. But like Seinfeld's like smart. It's smart humor. It's clean humor. It's something, you know, the whole family can listen to. Although the episodes were pretty sexually charged.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, lots of sexual innuendo, but so was Friends, which is why I preferred Mad About You. Again, it's the best NBC sitcom nobody mentions but me. It's fine.
You want a giant continuity error. I mean, they changed a lot from that first season. I mean,
the season, the pilot, just from the pilot to the actual like
the
first
pilot
episode that we know, like they're not at Monk's. That we never see that waitress again.
No.
But thank God, because then we wouldn't have Elaine.
Yes, it was Jerry, George, and Kramer. That was it. Everything else we never saw again.
You know, it reminds me of the Big Bang original pilot. If you've ever seen that, the first penny was so rough. It was so brutal.
But no, I mean, they again continuity. It's like, remember that first season? Like, he didn't even have like a bedroom in his apartment.
Yeah, and honestly, they get what makes the difference for me, I think, is the director. I think Tom Sharone's directed like how many episodes in a row? I think it's like 18 episodes from that second episode to episode like 19 or something like that. He is directing, and so that gives them, and also Larry David and Jerry for the most part, outside of a few people that are doing the scripts, and they have a bit more of a writer's room with Matt Golden and Peter Melman. They bring in some like, you know, seasoned professionals from the NBC, like other writers' rooms and stuff. And it just kind of helps them focus. And you, like every episode in the first and second season, you literally see it's consistently getting better. It's building. And I think it really hit its stride. I'd say the Chinese restaurant. I think almost everybody probably agrees that is the peak where they hit it and they stay there for a while. So they find the formula. The ABC storyline, you know.
And it's
Not too many shows do that, right? It's either an A and B plot or just an A plot. They do A, B, and C, and they converge. Almost always.
And it's so weird because I don't think they would have done that in later seasons. That Chinese restaurant, no Kramer.
Yeah.
At all.
And honestly, Kramer, even before the whole Michael Richards thing, he's not my kind of guy. I'm not like a slapstick kind of girl. Outside of Gallagher. And I don't even think Gallagher's slapstick is more physical, with the watermelon being the shtick.
Yeah.
And for me, what makes Gallagher so funny is that people go to see Gallagher, pay premium money to sit in the front seat of said Gallagher show to get smashed with the watermelon. Like that, in my brain, I can't fathom it. It's just hilarious that people pay money to do that. So that's what makes that funny. But like, I'm more of an Andrew Dice Clay kind of girl, honestly. Before we canceled John Mulaney was our generation, my generation anyway, Seinfeld, you know?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. John Mulaney, he's all right, but I don't know. He was
literally Seinfeld, but younger. A little more relatable. Until that incident.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, like Chinese restaurant, definitely the best episode of like the first 17 episodes, I would say. The ex-girlfriend's a little weird. The phone message.
Oh yeah, talk about dated. Yeah, gonna switch the tape.
Although I probably shouldn't say what comedian actually still does. There's a couple of them actually that still use that. Not gonna call them out, but
oh my.
Yeah, I used to go to a lot of like small like comedian venues. Like it's fun to watch. I don't like the big like, you know, Chris Rock tours and stuff like that. Like, no, you want to go to like, you know, Second City, really see that improv and people developing their skills. It's far more interesting. But yeah, a lot of people actually still do that. So, well, you know, because it can get stolen from the cloud, so it's actually smart.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, little fun fact. Oh, what about you? What are some episodes that literally, when you think of Seinfeld, the first episodes that come to your mind?
Well, I was looking through some of the first seasons because, like, the later seasons come to mind to me because, like, first run, I've actually picked the show up towards the last couple seasons. So I
think I picked it up in season 5. I was watching it with my mom. Because it was like Thursday night. You got it. My mom. Okay, so I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but my mom was like a huge ER fan. I hate ER with a passion, probably because that's probably why I don't like George Clooney at all. So like it was must see Thursday night, right? It was that time. So I think that was like season 5 and on. It was part of that must see Thursday TV. So that's where I picked that up when it became like that big juggernaut of things. But then they were also playing it in syndication. I think that was the exact same time that they started going into syndication, and it would be on after school, well, after Batman and all that stuff. Like right
Oh
before
yeah.
like, the 6 o'clock news was when it came on for me. So
I mean, I don't think that thing has ever gone out of this show's never gone out of syndication, especially here. Like our
I think network syndication it has because I know Comedy Central has it. A couple other like
no, our
basic cable.
well, our Fox station here, our local Fox station. I don't think it's ever gone off of there since the show quit airing.
Really, that's
Like-
so interesting because in the bigger markets, I know that literally the Fox stations had a deal with the CBS shows and stuff, like because usually the Fox stations own the CW stations, and so they made a deal to have like Mom or Two Broke Girls or Big Bang Theory air right before that into their primetime network.
Well, that's like for a few years after the show ended, like our Fox station, they would do
it was
like,
everywhere. It was on like 3 different stations for me.
well, like they would do like the 7 o'clock hour and then the 11 o'clock hour, like each time. Now it's like it's just down to like the 11 o'clock hour because like during the afternoon and early evening they'll do the Big Bangs and Young Sheldons and stuff. But yeah, I mean I don't think it's ever left that channel since.
Young Sheldon's been on long enough to have syndication. Oh my! No,
I guess I forget how many seasons. Well, I know we stopped. It's like been a couple seasons. I know that.
It's like, and when I realized that the Young Rock had 3 seasons, I was just like, "Who's he paying to watch this?"
No.
Ugh, that show is terrible.
Anyway. Oh wow!
I saw like an episode the other day against my will. So
Young Sheldon might be in the middle of its 6th season.
I mean, good for them though, because I love Laurie Metcalf's daughter. Like, I really wish I could have gotten into Young Sheldon, but like, I don't care about like if it was Young Leonard or Young Penny, I would so freaking be there. But it's Young Sheldon.
I mean,
you know what they say. If you don't know a Sheldon, you're the Sheldon. So I might be the Sheldon, which probably ruffles my feathers a little. Maybe I don't know.
I mean, we dropped it after a couple seasons. I mean, it was all right in the beginning, but then it's like the same thing.
I watched the pilot and it was like, LOL, no.
But a lot of times they do focus on like some of the other characters. They do get focused the other characters.
I did want to know more about Meemaw and like.
Oh yeah. Annie Potts as good as Meemaw. Yeah.
Yeah. Love Annie Potts. I was like, oh, I wish I could get into this show. But yeah, let me think. For me, definitely the later season pops. But I always forget the name of the one with the mall.
Oh wow!
Where they're at the mall
when they're trying to find the car,
and the goldfish dies. Won't someone think of the fish? That episode, I can't think of the name of it now.
Purple 23.
The wife with freaking Courtney Cox.
Oh
episode 17. See, like those, and that's what I mean. Like those episodes stick out. Like, well, it is also one of those. Oh, they look kind of a lot alike. Jerry is a narcissist, big time.
Oh yeah.
Like whoa. Like that's when it really kind of hit me. I was just like that and the Janine Garofalo where it's like you're eating cereal again.
Yeah,
I hate myself.
Season 3, episode 6, the parking garage.
Yes, the parking garage. And I also like that it started with because the Frogger. That's a great episode too.
Oh, the Frogger! I love the Frogger.
Oh, like that. Like I said, I think my favorite episodes are George episodes, almost always.
Those are always great.
So neurotic and he just has the bad luck,
The ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
Yes, exactly. Or he gets traded for like that chicken place for like jerk chicken.
Oh,
alcohol.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't make it in this town.
Tyson chicken, yes.
She's like, oh, you're paying that much for
that? We should leave for a while. Smells like the previous tenant had monkeys.
Exactly.
Oh no, you said chicken. The first thing, one of the greatest episodes of all time.
Oh,
Kenny Rogers. Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, that's my number 1 episode. If I only had one Seinfeld episode to watch, if you've never rewatched Seinfeld, do it because you're gonna notice something every freaking single time you watch it.
Especially when Jerry and Kramer switch apartments.
Oh, it is the best. Burning my mind.
Oh, I'm stressed.
A character we never got to see, unfortunately.
Who?
That would have been hilarious. Bob Sacramento.
Oh yeah, Bob Sacramento. My friend called Bob Sacramento. Called. I thought he was Kramer's friend. He called at like 3 a.m. We got to talking.
I mean, when you got red lights burning your brain, what else you're gonna do? And then he's like, You don't get vegetables. He tries to eat it. He's like, give me
Oh,
sugar.
yeah.
Newman,
Broccoli?
also Wayne Knight,
Yeah.
amazing character actor. I prefer him, of course, in Third Rock to the Sun because he gets more of a heroic lead kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Wayne Newman, Wayne, he just knocks it out of the park as the annoying neighbor, and he's a mailman, which I hate mail people for the most part. So
Excellent.
Or when Jerry goes to do his job to get him to go to Hawaii.
Oh yeah,
Like, well, you deliver too much mail, but
I put them in. I got almost done it all done. That's right. That's all they do. It wasn't me. Everything got done.
Oh, the two-parter with the golf clubs.
Oh yes, GFK's golf clubs. Yes. When Brad Garrett steals the car. Yes.
Yes. Oh, and I think probably in my top 25, there's an episode. I don't know if you guys know this. Jason Alexander actually directed an episode, The Good Samaritan.
Oh, okay.
Which is from season 3, episode 20, I think. Yeah, it's toward the end. It's right before The Letter in the Parking Space. Season 3 is a really good season, actually. It's almost a perfect season, to be quite honest. That's the one with the pen, the dog, the library, the parking garage, the parking space. Yeah, season 3 is super good. The Pez dispenser's also in season 3. One of my top 25 episodes too.
Yes.
Bubble Boy is actually season 4, but that's another Seinfeld episode that I just instantly comes. I'm sorry, it was the Moops.
That's not Moops, it's a misprint. Oh no.
The Virgin is actually my least favorite episode.
Oh yeah.
Cause listen, I love me some Daphne Moon. I am the biggest Frasier fan. I hated Choose, loved Frasier. So we don't do that to Daphne.
Yes, but what about the contest?
Contest is number 3, actually, on my top 10 list. And my top 10 list hasn't budged in a while. And I literally just rewatched Seinfeld the end of last year, probably like October. So yeah, everything's pretty much still fresh in my mind. I usually kind of binge it either in the summer or towards the end of the year. So, but yeah, my top 10 list hasn't budged in a while. My least favorite episodes do change, though, a lot.
Yeah. Oh, what about the Chinese woman?
Oh, that's a little... Even then, I was just kind of like,
I know. But it is funny when it's like...
like, ooh, that definitely does not age good.
It is funny when it's like, well, George's father was meeting with a man in a cape. Larry David.
It was Larry David.
I love the end. They helping her what's her face off the bridge. Who are you? I'm Frank Costanza's lawyer.
I don't know. I think I only have one Kramer episode that I love, and it's the one with the portrait. I hate it. I love it. Is it the portrait? Is that the name of that episode?
It might be, but he's
the non-fat yogurt, number 5 on my list.
Oh.
It used to be number 1, but the non-fat yogurt, I love that episode so much. But it's so weird. Like, I felt like that was experimental because they had the kid cuss. Like, I can still, for the life of me, not figure it out, because that's just not Seinfeld's thing. So to have the kids specifically kind of curse, that was kind of weird for me, and it sticks out. But it's still a really funny episode, with or without the kid saying the F word. Unless
they were like calling somebody out, because
I wasn't like watching TV like that as a young child, so it might be a call out to something. Because right around that time, like networks were kind of getting a little more edgy. Maybe that was what it was a reference to.
Oh, maybe.
Know. But the non-fat yogurt, I love that episode. Oh, the sniffling accountant.
Oh yeah, the mole hair.
Yes. Which is great because, like, so it goes, season 5, that episode is in. So season 5 starts off like, the mango I could do without, but then it goes the puffy shirt, the glasses, the sniffling accountant, the bris, the lip reader, then the non-fat yogurt. It's like, what? They were on a freaking roll, too.
Oh, that's ironic. Okay. No, remember the episode The Secretary, where George decides not to hire like the hottest secretary, so he doesn't sleep with her, and he ends up sleeping with her anyway. Season 6, episode 9. Oh, that was the other thing. Do you ever notice George's apartment? You know, where he lived with Susan, and even after she dies, the apartment number is 609.
I did notice that.
I was like, was that intentional? Was there some intention there?
Single, horny, lonely man. Yeah. Oh, me and my friends had this debate about Jason Alexander. It's like, he's okay bald, but I think the toupee added something for him.
Oh yeah.
I mean, either shave it all. Don't do the horseshoe pattern, boys. Either shave it all or get yourself some plugs, bud. There's no in between.
Well,
in between.
Well, I think during the show, it's like, yeah, he had to keep that just because that was George Costanza. You know, that was George Costanza.
Yeah, I think they actually probably tried the toupee to see what the audience's reaction was, and
maybe.
Honestly, I'm just gonna say Jason Alexander is the only non-problematic person on that show. So I'm just gonna let y'all know, Jason Alexander, with or without hair, he can get it. He's on the biscuit list.
Whoa. Whoa.
And it's crazy because, like, me and my friends were talking about that. I was like, yeah, like, a lot of people kind of agree about that. Like, just keep your hat on and you're all good, bud. And
exactly.
Jason Alexander had a good, what was that, 2020 where he was in the Super Bowl ad? Or is that 2021?
Oh, maybe.
Life's blended together since since post-after times.
and while we were still watching Young Sheldon, like, he would show up for a recurring time to time. He was like a drama teacher.
Oh, that makes sense, actually. He's been in a couple of other things, too, so.
Oh, yeah, he'll pop up.
Like, I actually hated this character when I first watched it because as a child of the 90s, of course, Pretty Woman is, like, seared in our brains because they played it everywhere, all the time. Julia Roberts was America's sweetheart during my childhood. My very young, early childhood, and watching this as an adult, I'm like, wait a minute. Why is this a film? This is not a family film! What the frackle did they let me watch this for?
What? Just because he was in love with the prostitute? What?
And also, she was dumb. Like, she lowered her price for the week. Idiot. Anyway, but like, yeah, he is a son of a bitch in that movie. I was just like, oh, I'm not gonna like this guy. Turns out George's my favorite effing character. So funny.
Again, people liked the SOBs back in the 90s, man. I don't know what it was.
He's in a couple other things that I saw from like the early 80s too. Like, I was just like, random Jason Alexander is random.
All right. Here's a good episode. Season 6, episode 19, The Jimmy.
Oh, the Jimmy.
Don't touch Jimmy.
Oh, him and Kramer.
Jimmy's gonna get you. Jimmy's gonna get you, Kramer.
Like, well, I do like the later seasons probably because I have a personal bias. That's when I started watching it. I will say that I think it kind of loses the plot a little bit because they do let in so many new people. Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, it's season 8 where Larry David leaves. The last episode he writes is The Invitations, and apparently everybody hated the lady. So
yeah, supposedly, I don't know if it just wasn't chemistry or what.
She said as much, and everybody has said it. So it's not like us talking out of school. It's not a secret. It's known.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm just saying. I don't know if it was just like there was no chemistry there, but yeah, it was like the whole she didn't. There was no connect between her and the rest of that cast. Yeah.
Yeah, and even Elaine. Oh, but and let me tell you, season 7 has like the best, like, I guess, like, last run of the episodes from like 17, like the Doll, the Friars Club, the Wigmaster, the Calzone, the 2 episode, the Bottle Deposit, the Wait Out, and the Invitations. Masterpieces.
Oh yeah.
That's a great run. The Cadillac too, but
the shower.
They had a couple of 2-part episodes just like so randomly when they would have the 2-part episodes, because usually most shows do like season finale, season premiere kind of, like they said for that, like just random 2-part episodes in Seinfeld, bro. Just random.
And of course, the one if there's one episode of Seinfeld everyone knows, it's season 7, episode 6, the Soup Nazi.
Yes.
No soup fuel.
Yeah. Oh, the Van Buren Boys is really good too. I think I like that one because they're kind of like side recurring background characters, and like I said, those kind of things on rewatch. You kind of notice, hey, that's the guy from the AIDS ribbon thing. That's this guy,
Oh yeah, okay. Here's my question. Do you ever notice there's a guy who's always in the background? I forget. He may have had a line or two every so often, but it's like a redheaded get like an older redheaded guy. And like he'll show up in just like in random places. Like he's either in background or I know when George was trying to sell the athletic shoes, he was one of the people in the athletic store or whatever. But it's like there's always like some
I'd
redheaded
have
guy.
to
I'm
see
like,
a picture and then because like some people say redhead and then they mean strawberry blonde and it's different.
I mean, it looked redhead, but I'm not sure. But I'm like, I don't know if it was like
as a redhead aficionado, like I have to see the picture.
But I'm like, is this guy like a writer or something? Or I mean, because it seemed like
Probably
he's there.
somebody's cousin or a PA. Or...
It seems like he's in the background a lot, so it's just.
Yeah. Oh, the Checks is a really good one too. That's from the later seasons. Oh, the finale though. How do you feel? I want to get it out of the way. How do you feel about the finale?
I mean,
I like the first part of the finale. The second episode, the actual finale.
I mean, I get it.
It's worse than The Sopranos.
Yeah,
I mean, had a real bad habit of ruining shows, bro.
I mean, I get it. It's a good way to go over your history and stuff, but then at the end, it's like
it was a glorified clip show.
I know, but then it's like at the end, it's like, oh, you're going to go to jail for a year, and then what? You know, you're going to get back out, and everything's going to go back to normal. So it's not like it's like a, you know.
Well, it can't go back to it can go back to normal for Jerry, but like in show reality, it can't go back to the same for Elaine. It can't go back to the same for George because he's a real estate agent. Once you go to prison, jail, whatever, that's on your record, and they're not going to let you back in. There's a lot of like bonds and licenses you have to hold as a real estate agent.
Well, he wasn't a real estate agent at that point. I mean,
that's something he could have fallen back on. He was just doing whatever. I don't know why they stopped letting him be a real estate agent. I guess because real estate agents aren't losers. I guess, and George is a loser. You know, he is the loser of the group.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Was it just they went to prison at the end where it's just like, oh yeah, their life had consequences?
And they would never let Elaine be like. It was so unrealistic. And my favorite thing is like the judges aren't family, so you think they're gonna get away with it. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they should have just let them off the hook because that's realistic. They're white people. Be serious.
Again, I think it was just like, oh, it's been 9 years of them just like being horrible,
being the worst people ever. But I'm like, babes, they're from New York, like.
Yeah, exactly.
At the point, I mean, no tea, no shade to New Yorkers. Y'all know I love you, but like, and I wouldn't even say like actual New Yorkers who are born and raised in like New York City. Y'all are cool. It's the people that have lived there for 10+ years but are transplants that call themselves New Yorkers. Those are the worst kind of New Yorkers. It's just like Paris. Paris is great without the Parisians, the born and raised Parisians. I'm just gonna say it.
I love how Newman just shows up in court. Does he? I mean, maybe there's a cutscene where he testifies. He doesn't even testify. He just shows up to like sit there, eat his popcorn, and eat, and just laugh at them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, here's a question for you because we mentioned jobs and stuff. Okay. I mean, you could do for each one or for either or. Who was your favorite boss of George's and Elaine's or combined? Who was your favorite boss? Jay Peterman, Mr. Pitt.
Mr. Pitt, absolutely, because it comes from I love my soup. that whole thing. And she can't go out. She's like, I gotta stay here. Buy him some socks. And then also that's where it comes, you know, cutting your Snickers bar and things like that. Like,
yes.
How she gets hired, it's hilarious. I never really liked Peterman.
Oh, really?
He annoyed the hell out of me. I don't know what TV show I saw him on before I discovered him on Seinfeld, but I want to say it was like that Empty Nest spinoff, maybe, or something like that.
Oh, maybe.
He was on one of those weird spinoff shows from one of my favorite shows, and it was awful, and I hated that man.
And it was so weird. It was random. Like I think it was after Seinfeld, they gave him like. Was it like the daytime version of, was it Family Feud or something? They gave him like some, like I think like a daytime version of one of those game shows. And I don't know.
Oh, really?
It seemed weird to me. Yeah.
John Hurley. Yeah. I couldn't think of his name. I had to look it up. But like, yeah, he was in a couple of things that I just, it just wasn't for me. Also, my friend was in a golf tournament with him and said he was a real pill. So that's
really?
Too.
Really?
Yeah. like about, I think it was probably like 5-6 years ago by now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he does like a lot of like the celebrity golf tournaments. So.
And, probably the big one that people know. George was that the one George had the longest Steinbrenner from the Yankees?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious because like that's back when the Yankees were like not America's team. You know, they weren't doing well. It was like honestly right after Seinfeld ended is when the Yankees went on that like historic run and they just became that team to beat.
That was the funniest when they thought George was dead and his dad's still yelling at Steinbrenner, "How did you trade Jake?" He calls Jerry, leaves a message. Jerry, it's Frank Costanza. Steinbrenner's here. George is dead. Call me back.
No, I think my favorite line, and this is me and my best friend. Every time we call each other, we're like, Uncle Leo. we don't say hi. We just launch into what we're talking about. So we're just like, Uncle Leo, is that you?
That was the other person has to slam the phone.
Yes. Yeah, we're terrible.
Good.
It's like, you saw my caller ID. You know who I am.
Next time you need a wake up call, I'm gonna be like, Uncle Leo.
Oh, I should too. I don't know. Like, definitely Seinfeld gave me a lot of joy. A lot of people a lot of joy for a long time.
Yeah.
Did they ever have that reunion that they were talking about? I want to say yes.
Did they do something? They didn't do anything.
Like, it was like they got together on like some TV show, like some late night show, right?
Oh,
I yet to happen.
I was gonna say they didn't do it. I thought they did. Did they do something on Curb Your Enthusiasm? I thought, or
yeah, they did something, but it wasn't what you think. Yeah, it's just never what you think on Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's funny though. That happens in season 7, episode 10, for Curb Your Enthusiasm. And it's okay. It's okay.
Where's that? What's the one?
I'm looking. Jerry says that he said there'll never be a reunion, probably because of Michael Richards.
Probably.
He doesn't want to poke the bear, but it's like
probably.
Like I said, I only have one favorite Kramer episode, and that is the portrait. So we'll be okay. I mean, honestly, do you have any like what are good Kramer episodes? Like I think all his kind of annoy me.
I mean,
like the one with the car where he accidentally gets turned into a pimp. Like I don't like that one.
What about the one with the blood?
Oh, that's a terrible one because
Or the slicer.
It was so annoying. Like I never could figure. It's kind of like what's that show? It's like Seinfeld. I mean, it's like South Park. Why are they friends with Cartman? Why are they friends with Kramer?
Yeah.
And then also take it back to Friends. Why are they friends with Phoebe? She literally moved out without telling them. Although Phoebe is the secret sauce to the success of Friends, don't get me wrong. Just like, why are they friends with them? And especially why is she friends with them, actually? Phoebe's like the total misfit out of the whole group. Like, once she moved out, it should have been done.
The Susie.
Oh, that's a terrible episode. I'm sorry.
They got to bring back what's his face, Mike.
Yeah. Oh, the Facility Jerry.
Oh, Million to One.
Episodes are from season 6. Oh my god.
The
Bizarro Jerry. The Bizarro Jerry, actually, though.
Oh yeah.
That's a classic. That's such a classic.
I found a payphone that was you can make free calls in the lobby. What did you do? I immediately called the phone company and reported the problem.
The fact that he's friends with his freaking male guy. Oh, but like I said, I think the mango is literally my least favorite. That's the one where Elaine, says she faked all her orgasms.
Oh yeah.
Jerry into a spiral.
Sex to save the friendship.
Yikes.
Well, there's that earlier one too, where it's like they try to be friends with benefits.
Yeah, it doesn't work. I don't care what Harry and Sally told you. It didn't work.
But then it's like they never went anywhere. That they never really did anything with that plot after that episode.
You know what I find so unfortunate in the whole Seinfeld thing? They're technically a Sony property. And that's probably why we don't have like the merch that we've had should have had, especially like now that it's literally been like 30 years on at this point. Like, you know how, like, every 20 or 30, like, when Friends, like, back in, like, right before the pandemic, it was Friends merchandise in Hot Topic and Walmart and Spencer's. You know, you don't really get that. Like, I tried to wear my Seinfeld shirt today, but it is unfortunately teal, which was pulling green, and obviously I use a green screen. So it just wasn't working. I was bummed. I was like, oh, that's why I was late. Sorry, Phil.
That's okay. You know,
I had to change my shirt.
okay, you know what? I do like most of the later episodes, but there's I don't know what season it is, but the one of my least favorite ones is the one where they play the whole episode backwards.
Yeah.
Where they go to India, for Sue Ellen
Yeah.
Mishke's wedding.
Yeah. I hate Sue Ellen though, so I'm right there with Elaine.
I was just like, why did they do that backwards? Was that the original plan?
They were always trying to experiment right till the end.
But I was like, maybe they thought, oh, maybe the plot, maybe the story's not strong enough, so maybe we'll make it funnier if we run it backwards or something.
Yeah. Oh, but something I say all the time: the Summer of George. Every freaking time June 1st hits, I go, it's gonna be the Summer of George. And lo and behold, something comes up, and I can't have my Summer of George.
Then she waves that bee away.
I'm in a slightly better shape than George. Got myself a standing desk, a walking pad. You know, working from home. It's easy to be lazy, but I have to try my best.
Are you still decompressing? Decomposing? Decompressing.
Decomposing. He's like extreme atrophy. It's like he's done nothing.
Oh, you know what episode that is, right? Raquel Welch.
Yeah. Gotta swing your arms.
Cat fight.
That was hilarious that they got her to play herself, though.
I know.
The Bette Midler episode, where she gets hurt. That's
kind of a Kramer episode. Well, so at least part of it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
Oh well, yeah. The Bette Midler. Because that was want to play on Tanya Harding.
Yeah. The boyfriend is also something that doesn't hold up very well, and I can't really rewatch and laugh like I did originally. You know, the whole not that there's anything wrong with that lady.
Oh,
yeah. Those kind of, I was just like, oh yeah. It's okay, I'm a child of the 90s, but I've grown from then. I've grown. But it was really funny that they got an action. That's a real baseball player, right?
What?
That guy was the real...
Oh, Keith Hernandez? Yeah.
I never bothered to look. I just assumed.
Yeah, no, baseball
is not I don't know why they say baseball is America's sport. It's basketball, first of all, followed by football, followed by hockey. Like, I don't know any. Like, your boss gives you baseball tickets. You know, you're like, I guess I'll sell these on the internet.
I mean, I tried to get into it a year or two as a kid, and it's like, it's like
that South Park episode. Yeah, I played Little League Baseball. Probably that's probably why I hate it. That's probably why I hate it.
Well, what's the slowest of the sports? Name me a slower sport. I mean, football. Well, yeah.
Or curling is super slow too.
But it's just like throw the ball. Let's wait. Throw the ball. Let's wait. Yeah. The barber.
Oh, that's also a little awkward. Like, this is why. Okay, it's like there's homosexual subtext, right?
Yes.
That's supposed to be there, and not played for laughs. It just sits there and makes you think. And then there's just like the hokum of it all of those particular episodes. I'm just like, okay.
Well, again, I wonder if it's just like sometimes it loses something if they're like trying to hit on like a
yeah, it's like Seinfeld.
Popular, like a current of topic. Like that one was Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah. Which is not one of Johnny Depp's best movies. There, I said it. It's overrated. It's stupid, and it's a Christmas movie.
And again, it doesn't help.
Eventually, we'll have to get to it.
And it doesn't help the episodes age well either.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk cringeworthy? The cigar store Indian.
I wasn't even gonna bring it up, bro.
Okay.
That is like the one that I'm just like, I was shocked. I was shocked at the time that they did that. And I'm like, babes, aren't you Jewish? Shouldn't you know a little better?
You would think.
I'm just saying, as a black person, I know better than that, and I'm sure as a Jewish person, he knew better than that. So I'm just like, whoa.
Oh, what? But again, that's season 5. By that point, are they just like, you know what? If we push the envelope, try to get controversial, we're gonna get, views and.
So like NBC did not need controversy back then.
I
They
know,
had
but
enough of it.
with the show
They
itself,
had enough of it.
they just wanted ratings, no matter what.
That's crazy because if you look at the ratings, I believe the episode dips for like the ratings dip for 3 episodes after that episode. So
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I said, NBC had a lot of controversial things going on, like the stuff that they were doing on ER. Some of the stuff Frasier did too, to be quite honest. As I'm in the middle of that rewatch currently, I'm like,
oh, here's the marine biologist.
Oh, so good. That's a good one. The sea was angry that day, my friend.
Like an old man that's sending soup back at the deli.
Who sent soup back at the deli? Maybe that was a 90s thing. I don't know. The big salad. Now that is the pettiest episode, so that has to be your favorite, Phil.
That is a good one.
Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
I am.
Did I trigger it?
I don't know. It's triggered. But how about the one with the mannequin that looks like Elaine?
Oh yeah. The Merv. Okay, no, the best Kramer episode, the Merv Griffin show.
Yes, that is a good one.
Done.
Yes.
That's the best Kramer episode.
So, you and Jerry dated for a while. Tell us about. Oh, wrong card.
That's the best Kramer episode. You can't change my mind.
Oh God, and the squirrel.
The squirrel.
That was in that episode. Oh.
Something that hasn't aged, ironically, despite it being season 4, episode 20, the Junior Mint. I don't like that episode anymore.
The Junior? Why?
I don't know. It's just like, it was hilarious to me back then. It's just like the Pez episode was hilarious to me back then. But now that when I do the rewatch, I'm like, what was that? I was like, I didn't start smoking weed till college, so I don't know why this was funny to me. For the life of me, I don't know why it was funny to me as a kid. I'm just like, I don't get it.
It was a Junior Mint. Oh, how about the fire when George pushes all the women and children out of the way to get out?
Look, I hate to break it to you. I understand, but you will be getting punched in the dick, and I will be getting on a lifeboat.
Wow!
You push me, I'm pushing back, and I got mace. So, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? It's up to you. I might knock a little kid down. I ain't gonna hold you. I get it. That's natural reflexes, survival of the fittest.
Oh my!
Look, I'm telling you. When I tell you I relate to George. Although I do not eat out of the trash, whether it's on top or not.
Well, you really know how to talk some trash. I guess it's better than eating it.
Oh yeah.
The Hamptons.
I never really liked when they weren't in the apartment. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
With the exception of being the trip to LA, because despite Seinfeld being the definitive New York show of the 90s, it was filmed in Burbank, California. So I always love the meta of it.
I know. I don't know the whole LA thing really
is a serial killer. You can't convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. Yes, I believe it. And then Murphy Brown.
Oh, Murphy Brown. Yeah.
Listen,
Steven Snell.
That reboot, whatever they did later on, was awful. But like, I was a Murphy Brown girl. Like that was my jam. Like you don't understand. I was a CBS kid because I spent time with my grandma so much. So yeah, I'm a CBS kid.
I saw some of the later Murphy Browns. Yeah, because I would just like put the TV on.
And when she had the baby, I was like, okay, like you're making a point. We appreciate you, Murphy Brown, but. After that, it was like, yeah, you can go ahead and wrap this up. She was, not to be ageist, but she was super old with a baby, and I'm just like, I'd rather watch Designing Women at that time. Thank you for your service.
Oh my.
I've hated kids from a very early age. It's very clear I was going to be the rich auntie very early in life.
Hey, what's that?
But of course, Festivus.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the strike episode. What? I can't believe that came in season 9. That's crazy because that's such a Seinfeld thing that it came in the last season.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard for me to wrap my brain around it.
Oh my. Oh yeah, yeah. The strong box.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah.
The cartoon.
Oh, is that where Elaine stole the Ziggy? Is that the one?
I think so, yeah. Yes, yeah. And that's the one where
another episode that doesn't age well, the switch. And then George tries to pull it off, and he does pull it off, but
with Jerry wanted to date his girlfriend's
roommate. Yeah.
roommate instead, yeah.
That's when it's like Jerry really started getting like really vapid and narcissistic, and I'm just like, okay, I can't root for you anymore. Sorry, Jerry. Too much. Does TBS does comedy? I remember I used to watch my Seinfeld marathons on TBS, but they used to have a whole bunch of stuff on TBS. I don't think I've thought about TBS since the last time I had to watch an Atlanta Braves game.
Yeah, I can't remember last time I watched TBS.
But I remember they were like really huge for Seinfeld. For like,
they did some, yeah.
In the 2010s, I think it was.
Yeah, I don't know because I know Comedy Central does, but like I bet we'll do blocks of episodes now.
And I think TBS belongs to like Fox might have bought it out or something weird, so Disney might own it or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh.
Yeah, TBS has always been kind of weird. Yep, it's a part of the Warner Brothers Discovery. That's what I thought. Okay, never mind.
The gum.
Oh.
Am I crazy or is that a lot of gum? That's a lot of gum.
Yeah. Well, it's too much gum. Bad for your teeth unless it's sugar free. It's got xylitol, but that's none of my business. Yeah, now, the way I know stuff about like my parents telling me about teeth, you'd think they were dentists, but they just wanted to keep us out of the dentist. It's like, don't eat that kind of gum. Eat this kind of gum. Like, this gum doesn't taste good. It's sugar free.
Well, you know the difference between a dentist and a sadist, right? Newer magazines.
Better instruments. Oh God!
Next
I hope my soulmate isn't a dentist. That'll be a bit much.
Wait a minute, soulmate. Wait a minute. How drunk are you?
What? I mean, I'm the person that sweeps me off my feet and everything. But God, I'm tired of it.
I thought you wanted to live a barren, lonely, childless existence. What the happened?
I do want to live a childless existence.
Okay,
I want somebody to bring the groceries in eventually.
Oh my!
Yeah, men are just for manual labor. It's fine.
The male body's like a Jeep. It's just for getting around.
It's utilitarian. Exactly.
Oh my God! So now not only does she want a man to please her sexually, she wants him to stay around and fix a sandwich. Oh my God!
It's only fair. It's only fair.
My little girl's growing up.
Yeah. I'm getting. I know I trained the dogs to bring me a beer. It's just not the same.
Yeah. And man, you better know how to drink your damn whiskey too.
No, listen. Okay, life pro tip: don't tell a girl that you're a whiskey/bourbon drinker, and you use crushed ice, and B, there are no whiskey stones in your bar setup. Clearly, you're a liar. Like you crushed? Crushed. You need this.
Crushed.
Okay, so
crushed ice. I'm not a drinker, and I know you don't use crushed ice in booze. Come on.
Thank you. Exactly. So it's just like.
If
you lie about that, you'll lie about anything.
You gotta cube that shit. Come on.
Well, actually, the best for bourbon is spherical. So there's like these molds. If you're not gonna use whiskey stones, it's like a whole thing. But like, yeah. So because you don't want to dilute it too much, but you do need to dilute it to bring out the potential aromas and the flavoring. So it's like you just need it to be cold and just slightly, just this much dilution. So you need something that's huge and solid. Hell. That'll last a long time, you know.
Hell.
So yeah. That's a whole thing. So it's like if you lie about being liking whiskey and knowing about whiskey, you'll lie about anything. Because like when I start looking around and stuff's not adding up, I ain't gonna call you out on it. I'm just gonna block you. It's the simplest thing to lie about, you know. I don't even like brown liquor, and I know know that, but I lived in Kentucky for a while, so.
Oh my.
Yeah. The life pro tip, kids, you know. If you notice one small lie, you're going to notice a bunch, and it's all red flags.
I'm sorry, I hate to tell you this. I know you love the young stupid ones, but it's like,
oh, this is what I get for not dating somebody younger than me.
oh wait,
somebody my age. I was like,
really? Really?
Yeah.
Oh my.
I wouldn't trust this. Listen, I wouldn't trust a 25-year-old who said they love bourbon. You gotta live life a little more to have love for a brown liquor like that. Because when you drink bourbon, that's the only thing you drink, pretty much. Maybe a cognac.
I don't know. Maybe you've got to start going older than you, Lilith Hellfire. I don't know.
I don't wanna. You can't make me.
Come on, there's got to be some guys down there that don't look their age. Come on.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
Whoa.
I want a barely developed prefrontal cortex. There, I said it. Somebody that's still willing to get into just the right amount of trouble that I like to get into.
All right, don't complain when they don't know how to drink their whiskey or they don't know Superman can beat Hulk. Okay.
I'm fine with that. They'll just be, but like I said, the guy my age was my age, and was like, yeah, I love whiskey, and I should have known. He didn't have any Johnny Walker. I should have freaking known. But not everybody can afford a good Black Label Johnny Walker. I get it.
Oh my.
I mean, it could have been worse. He could have had that. What is that? Mulligans.
Hennigans.
Hennigans. Yeah.
I've been using it as a paint thinner.
Yeah, it could have been worse. He could have said he liked Hennigans.
Hey everyone, I just had a shot of Hennigans. And I don't smell.
It's funny because there's a Hennigan's restaurant, but Hennigan's is not a real Scotch. And for it to be Scotch, it was the wrong color. None of my business. Scotch is never gonna be flavorless or colorless. I hate to be the one to tell you. I was like, that's just water. That's just water in that bottle. They could have gave it ginger ale.
Or was that the inside joke? They're like, yeah, this isn't really Scotch, so it's like, yeah, it's odorless, colorless.
They could have tried it.
That's
ginger ale.
I don't know. Was there like was there a weird thing on network TV at that point where like you couldn't like really drink on TV? Maybe.
I don't know.
Plus, who knows how many takes they were doing?
On purpose. Yeah, maybe they switched out on the final one. It was like, oh yeah. But yeah, that's my gag joke. I would love for somebody to, you know what? I should one of these days make myself a Hennigan's label and put it on something. Some alcohol, the cheapest alcohol I can find.
Oh, the puffy shirt.
The puffy shirt is good. That was ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know if this is probably what made me the way I am. I will never be caught up. If you talk low, I'm like, speak up. I can't hear you. Speak up. You ain't catching me. I don't want to be well, obviously I do want to be a pirate, but I don't want to wear a puffy shirt on national TV and look ridiculous.
And George was a hand model.
Oh, like, this is what I mean. I felt so bad for George. Felt so bad for him in that moment.
Well, yeah, when he made fun of what's-her-face's shirt, you know.
It was ugly!
I know.
It was ugly, and she should have felt bad for making it. There, I said it.
I know, that should have been next episode. He, like, sues her.
Honestly, for a show about nothing, nobody got sued. Really? Well, they almost did. That's also a great... Well, Lane with the Chinese bike messenger.
Oh, yeah. Ping, yeah.
And then they meet the cousin or... Yeah.
Oh, yeah, George is dating the cousin, yeah.
I was like, oh. They are just terrible people. They are... You know what? I love Seinfeld because I love Daredevil. Terrible people that just make everybody's life worse that they touch. It just makes sense. When you start connecting the dots to your favorite medias and you start seeing the same common denominator, you're like, ooh, what does that say about me?
Oh my God. And I think I said to you before, like, if you look at some of those later seasons, I guess they were like trying to like still portray like a youthful appearance, but it's just like some like
those ladies were young.
Oh yeah, if you look at like your birth dates and stuff, because like if I'm on DirecTV, I can look and like it'll bring up like, you know, dates, you know, like, you know,
I think
actors
the girl
were born.
that played Susan was the last like age appropriate woman on the
Probably, yeah, because like those last couple seasons, it's like, I think by that point, Jason Alexander and Jerry were like in their
In their
40s, and like the
40s.
girlfriends were like in their 20s or something,
Which, to be fair, because
Most
in
New
real
York, yeah.
life, Jerry Seinfeld did marry somebody that was pretty much like 26 years younger than he was, or something like that.
Oh yeah. When they met, wasn't she like 17 or 18 or something?
So which, to be fair,
Yeah, but they never played it like that on the show where it's like, oh, they're so much younger, no.
Yeah.
Because they
But
begin.
Seinfeld was, I don't even know why. Like I said, I watched Seinfeld out of a matter. That's what my parents were watching, and I didn't want to do my homework, so I stayed and watched it.
That's funny because it's like my parents didn't watch it, but like I would hear people. I was in high school. I hear people talking about like Seinfeld. Like, oh, I gotta check this out.
Yeah.
It was like
finale live though. I remember that.
There was like two big recommendations I got from school. It was Seinfeld and it was In Living Color.
Ah.
Yes.
You're kind of old.
Oh.
Like I remember In Living Color, but like barely. Like I just know like the skits now, like in my brain. I know.
Yeah.
Like I know my mom and dad watched it and I watched it with them, but like the memories are like it's not until I got to rewatch it when I was older. I was like, oh yeah, I remember this. Like Jim Carrey as Fire Marshal Bill. Are you freaking kidding me?
Mm-hmm. I saw something online even just the other day. Like Jim Carrey must have made some statement somewhere where he was like just like thanking the Wayans brothers because he's like, back then it's like, no one was giving him a shot like Saturday Night Live or any of them, where like nobody was giving him a shot, and these guys gave him a shot.
Yeah, and it's when you watch it, it's like clearly it's like there's that Jim Carrey's humor and everybody else's humor, but yeah, the bodybuilding lady, that one that he did too, versus Homie the Clown, like that is a wide gap between comedies,
Men on Film.
Mm-hmm. Talk about something that has not aged well.
No. But if
actually now we've actually come back around to the camp of that all.
Yeah.
I guess because if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race or whatever, I watched that because actually this season specifically, there's somebody in the doll community that we're all rooting for. They like do custom dolls and stuff, and they got them, so we're all like as a community watching it. So if you watch RuPaul's Drag Race, you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, so it's very back to that whole camp of it all. So I guess we're lightening up again.
But again, if we didn't get In Living Color, I don't think we ever would have got Mad TV.
No, absolutely not. And it's such a shame that Mad TV went off the air too. Like,
yeah.
Like I think about it, like Seinfeld lasted 9 seasons. I think Mad TV lasted 5, and they never got any of the spinoffs like Saturday Night Live did. I wanted to see, I can do this. I want to see that as a full length movie.
Stewart, I can do.
Why did Night at the Roxbury get a movie and I can do this? Didn't get a movie. I'm still pissed.
It's that Lorne Michaels, man. He knows how to
wheel and deal for sure.
And shout
out to Will Lasso. Like even after he lost the weight, I still think he's funny.
Oh yeah.
So he was on How I Met Your Mother, so just give him a little shout out. But yeah, no, I still do my rewatches every single year. I just think it's a very like I said, it's a time capsule,
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, it's always still playing in syndication. I always try to watch at least a few episodes every week. So
yeah, but I don't know. I think like when it comes down to it, for me, like actually, like the time capsule for like me personally,
yeah,
like, I remember every single episode for good or for worse, for better or for worse, is South Park. That's my show. that is the time capsule because I get all the references.
Oh yeah,
every last terrible reference I get.
Whatever show it is, it hits you at the right point in your life. Yeah, you remember that.
Yeah, I was in like elementary. Shouldn't have been watching it. Actually, I wasn't even allowed to watch The Simpsons at first because Bart Simpson used to curse, and I'm just like, hell is not a curse word. Come on, be freaking serious. Be freaking serious. And they don't even do that anymore. They don't even say, I'm Bart Simpson, who the hell are you? Or
really? Yeah.
Oh, God, Bart hasn't said that in forever. He hasn't said cowabunga, have a cow in like decades.
Well, yeah, I was gonna. Well, do you think they think that's dated now, or like cowabunga?
It's still his catchphrase.
I know.
That's
But again,
his catchphrase.
sliding time, Lil.
I know. saw him ride a skateboard, and I'm like, shouldn't he have rollerblades or hoverboard or whatever the hell the kids are doing nowadays? I have one. I injured myself, and I haven't been back on it since, but I have one.
You get out.
I was going too fast downhill.
Again, it's not a true hoverboard. It has wheels.
I know. Listen, the moms of America need to take the band off a magnetic rail. If you know Back to the Future behind the scenes gag of that, then that makes sense to you.
We need anti-gravity.
Honestly, I mean, it's still better than the Amtrak, apparently. Too soon? Okay.
Oh my God! Last night on Saturday Night Live, they had a skit. They were just making fun of Southwest.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, you should love it because they're like, oh yeah, just so it never happens again, we're upgrading our whole computer system to 2008 Dell computers.
Well, not to scare you guys, but for the most part, most of your financial institutions are using Windows 9, which is just basically Windows 8.1, which they stopped servicing not so long ago. So,
oh, years ago, I thought I heard something where they're like, yeah, a bunch of those silos, like a bunch of those nukes, some of our nukes are hooked up to like old like desktop computers. I don't know how old they are, but
yeah, it's all the scam and it's all the sham.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. But I mean, you would try to find the Southwest skit. It's the best because they're like, we're going to sort bags by color. So we'll put all the blue bags over here. So now it's your responsibility, not ours.
I wouldn't even doubt if that's what they did, honestly. I mean, I used to be a Southwest girly. They never disappointed me. I never ever had a single problem. I had a problem with and this is what happens when you fly, cheaply commercially. Honestly, I get it. That's they're not the Deltas, they're not the airline, they're not Alaska Air, but they get you to where you gotta go. But the curtain was revealed, and I just can't do it. I'm back to Delta. I'm back to American Airlines.
Oh,
no more JetBlues or Southwests or Spirit Airlines for me. I'll never do it again.
Okay, I found it. I'll send it to you. But yeah, not only because they were making fun of Southwest, but you know who the host was last night?
Who?
Michael B. Jordan.
Who's the musical guest?
What was that? What was that?
Let me guess. A rapper?
It was a rapper. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, SNL. Okay, we see you. Yeah. Actually, I think we traded Michael B. Jordan for somebody not too long ago, so I don't think it matters.
Wait, what?
It's a TikTok joke.
Okay.
It's you remember Dave Chappelle? If you ever watched the Chappelle show, and it's like the race trading, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we swapped him for Hillary Duff. You just have to it's one of those things.
Oh God! And then I just saw the newest conspiracy theory.
Although I think we tried to claim Jerry because I don't know if you ever very recently he did a campaign with an urban streetwear designer called Keith.
Oh really?
Keith? Yeah, and it's like, oh, now you really look like Jerome. Now you really look like a Jerome. So it was like a whole thing. It's really funny.
Oh.
It's like you respect. I was like, just go ahead and get a face tattoo. Go ahead, do it. I don't know. I don't know if he's practicing his Jewish faith, so he probably can't have tattoos if he is.
Oh, he actually can't be buried in a Jewish cemetery then. Yeah.
But if you're not practicing and your parents are lax and not conservative, face tattoo. Switch up that image.
Oh
Drop an
God.
F-bomb.
I mean, if you don't have to worry about holding down a regular job, I mean, yeah, go for it. But
at least just a little neck tattoo. Everybody needs a little neck tattoo.
Where's yours at?
Back here.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Me, I'm always unfortunately going to be corporate because I need the healthcare benefits.
And she loves ordering people around.
No, actually, I don't. Like I said, I don't really make my underlings do anything that I won't do. So if I'm not working on a Saturday, nobody's going to work on a Saturday. If I leave at 3, y'all can leave at 3. I don't get mad when people's teams meetings go off like after 5 minutes. I'm just like, just don't let it be an hour.
Mhm.
You know, at least download it on your phone if you're gonna take a 30-minute dump. Make sure it stays green. I don't care. It's what I do. You know.
I love taking a dump at work and you're getting paid for it.
Exactly. My boss makes $1, I make $10. That's why I take a poop on company time. Yes. I get it. I've been there. I don't forget where I come from when I get a promotion.
That's healthy. Good job, Lilith. Yeah, I know a lot of women who are just like, I don't want to do that at work. I'm like, why not?
No, I don't. I work from home. When I'm in the office, I don't take a dump. We have a unisex bathroom, so there's no way I'm taking a dump. No freaking way.
Oh, you have a unisex bathroom?
Yeah, so it's one stall per floor.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it for those 8 hours. I'm not gonna eat lunch. It's fine.
Wow!
Oh, I held it for like 14 hours every single day from like kindergarten to high school. I never used the bathroom in school. Like,
oh, that's right, kid. She was a cheerleader. She doesn't poop. That's right.
No, I don't poop in public.
That's a
especially
woman.
like if you know, ladies' public bathrooms are disgusting. I don't know why. I don't know how. But they're
so
disgusting. I'd rather go to the men's, and even the men's is disgusting. But in the club, I will pee if I have a skirt on, standing up. But I won't poop in public. Listen, my personal bits are not getting anywhere near that toilet or water. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
I don't want this to come out the wrong way, but I need a video of that.
As a person who spent their youth in clubs, dirty dive bar clubs, yes, you learn how to stand up and pee.
Sounds like a South Park episode or something. Like, oh, get over here.
I learned it from Snooki, okay? Fine.
Oh, God.
Shout out to Snooki. Shout out to Nicole.
You want to smush?
But yeah, enough about that.
All right.
I think like Seinfeld, I don't know. I don't think the younger generation can connect with it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I never really met somebody younger than me that like gets it. And they're like, oh, you guys thought this was funny?
I get it. Yeah.
I'm like, babes, I see what y'all watch. Y'all watch like Bluey and like Steven Universe. So don't talk to me. Phineas and Ferb is y'all's masterpiece. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
I mean, I know.
Y'all are still watching my SpongeBob leftovers. Do not talk to me.
Oh. Damn.
Not to be a gatekeeper, but God, have you tried to watch some of that stuff? Like, Gravity Falls, okay.
I don't care if you're 10. I'll tell you off.
No, me and Gen Alpha's cool. It's Gen Z. Like thinking that, like, I'm like, babes, y'all grew up on the '90s kids leftovers. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Amen.
Again, but like, I don't know. I think it's a very good study if you do want to know about like if I don't know, will network sitcoms be a thing in 5 years? The way Night Court's looking, I don't think so. I think we're just gonna have all like procedurals across the board on every single like basic network at this point.
Why are the ratings?
Time soap operas.
Are the ratings not good on Night Court, or?
It's not funny.
I was gonna say.
I got around to watching it. It was not funny.
No, I mean compared.
I haven't seen a funny like that '90s show's not funny.
Compared to the
Despite
original,
the laugh track.
The new Night Court, it's not as compared to the original. I'm just like.
I can't remember the last like network comedy show that I actually like really like. I watched Two Broke Girls for Kat Denning. Yeah, that's it. Like it wasn't that funny, but like I like Kat Dennings as a person, and so like Well,
I was gonna say if sitcoms survive anywhere, it's gonna be CBS. The old people
they had all procedurals at this point.
Oh, I don't know. Do they have some? I really don't even watch CBS anymore.
I haven't watched it. When they took Evil off of CBS to put it just only on Paramount Plus. Before that, it was CB All Access. That was the last thing that I watched on CBS.
I mean, I could see the big three like trying to like keep some sitcoms just because it's like your demographics probably going to skew older, right? Because everyone, the younger people
Well,
are
not
screaming.
now.
You know, I
Oh
thought
wait, they do. They have like The Neighborhood, which is like 5
yeah.
seasons.
That's what I thought. I thought they had something like that.
I guess Young Sheldon is technically a comedy.
Oh, burn.
Oh nope, Ghost is Paramount Plus specifically. Yeah, I think it's just The Neighborhood.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm looking at their shows. Bob Hart's Ashbiola. I've never heard of that. I think that's a comedy. And then Tough as Nails might be a comedy. So yeah, out of everything else though, you got
Oh yeah, what your
like
CSI.
The Amazing Race and NCIS and CSI. That's
Yeah.
it. And The Equalizer even too, which is another kind of procedural thing. So procedurals are easy to make because they're low stakes and you can pick it up at any time. Even like sitcoms have their whole like backstory of things that you might miss if you're a casual fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I think procedurals are definitely easier. Although not Law and Order, forget it. Don't try to jump into Law and Order now. You're about 10 years too late for that to be relatable to a casual fan. No, because like at first they never really bothered with the interpersonals, and now it is like deep into the interpersonals of how everybody relates to each other.
I mean, regular Law and Order, you might be able to jump in because I mean, Sam Waterston's the only original one left on there. So
yeah, but like Law and Order SVU, forget it.
No.
Forget it.
No. And I was gonna say the Stabler show is new, but it's just like it's
so
interconnected the SVU. So yeah, I know.
I'm surprised IC hasn't been like, yo, can I get a transfer? Because I know he's tired of Mariska.
Really?
I mean, she's an executive producer, and she's a girl boss. Guys like Ice-T, he keeps his nose clean because he wants that job. That's good money. That's been a steady paycheck for 20 years. But
yeah,
you just know it burns his goat. If you know anything about Ice-T, you just know working for a woman burns his goat. Just chaps his ass bad.
Maybe he's waiting to see if that Stabler thing stayed afloat. Now, yeah, I mean,
listen, we've been begging for Elliot since the day he left.
Mm-hmm.
That Elliot show ain't going nowhere. Okay, he's got the dump truck back. Nah, it ain't going nowhere.
Wow.
You didn't know he got I think it was like in People or like it was like People. He got voted like America's like daddy. Zaddy with the Z.
Yeah. I heard that.
Yeah. So like, trust me, the girlies ain't letting that show go no time soon. Like I'm pretty sure the boys watch for Mariska. We're watching for Elliot. Okay.
Oh yeah, she's still looking good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, Jane Mansfield's her mom. Come on.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the day she dies.
I know.
Like I always say, she's my favorite Nepo baby.
Oh.
I don't mean that in a bad way.
Hey man, she put in the work, man. 20-some years on that show.
I mean, Tracy Ellis Ross is a Nepo baby too. I mean, a lot of people are Nepo babies.
Oh my god, that's another one. Mariska made that appearance on Seinfeld.
Oh yeah. So many people made appearances.
Oh yeah.
We could do a whole episode about our favorite guest stars, honestly.
I mean,
I think that'll be our next Seinfeld episode. If it won't be quotes, it could be best guest star.
Okay. Yes, kids, we'll be back to this. So yeah.
Oh, we're gonna go back to the Seinfeld well so much you're gonna be sick of it. You're gonna be sick of it.
Exactly. So yeah, always send in your Seinfeld thoughts because there'll be a place for it.
Even if it's random poop thoughts. You're sitting on the toilet and you have a random Seinfeld thought, just shoot it over to the email. It's right there on your phone. Go ahead.
Or if you're squatting above the toilet trying to pee and not touch it, yes, send us your thought.
No squatting. You stand up. I don't work there. I don't care where it goes.
Whoa! Whoa, elitist.
I mean, listen. I mean, I'll be sweet and wipe the seat, but I'm just saying. Y'all know what a urinal, and it's not the urinal, it's the stall, okay? Let's just get that clear. It's the stall with the door.
No, I didn't think you were standing in the middle of, exposed at the urinal. Okay.
But yeah, like public restrooms just are like my own personal hell, bro. Like I don't even want to wash my hands in there. Like it's.
Oh yeah, if I go in a stall, I'm trying to flush with my foot.
Yeah. You're coming out of there like this, with the elbows.
Or you grab the door handle, you know, when you're washing your hands, use the paper towel to open.
Oh, they never have paper towels. What is with Walmart never having like they have like one? You have to go in and get the toilet paper, and you're like, it
costs money.
Apparently, it's like, babes, we're still kind of technically, guys are still supposed to be doing COVID protocols. Like none of the WalMarts that I go to have like the hand sanitizer stuff anymore.
Find me a business that's still doing COVID protocols.
Target.
Oh, are they?
Well, at least my Target.
I mean, you could say they're doing Target protocols where like all these stores have, you know, you can order your stuff and they'll bring it out to you, you know.
Well, no, I mean like actual still having the hand sanitizer. My Target still does. They fill it up and it's not just water.
Okay, yeah. I think they do. Yeah.
Or they have the wipes, you know, one of the two.
Well, again,
Walmart gave that up probably like 6 months. They're like, oh, sucks to be you.
Oh, please.
You know how you shouldn't be out.
You know how Walmart is about their money.
Order on Walmart. Use Walmart Plus. That's a real thing, by the way. It's like they're shipping. Well, Target has it too.
Yeah.
They're shipping like, babes, you're not Amazon. You're not Amazon. You're not getting extra money from me for shipping. I'll come pick it up.
Yeah, I was gonna say you ship it to the store and do free shipping. Yeah.
I'll come get it. Don't you worry about it.
Exactly.
And on that note.
Yes. All right, kids. So yes. Like I said, send us your Seinfeld thoughts. Next time, we're going to be talking 90s music with special guest Mr. Jesse Jackson from the Set Listing Bruce podcast. So
I'm very curious to what his musical taste is outside of Bruce Springsteen. I really am.
Oh yeah, I mean, we got a nice little we'll have a nice little variety because, you know, you're 30s, I'm 40s, I believe he's in his 50s. So it's like, yeah, I mean, we're going to get a nice little
Phil's gonna be like,
variety.
The black nail polish.
What?
Fair old black nail polish Perich. I wonder what he was listening to.
if I still have my jacket, I'd put it, you know, my. All right. So yeah. So send us all your 90s music. Send us your favorite 90s music, the Seinfeld, any of it. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Oh no, wait a minute. That's right. Don't well, you can't email Capes and Lunatics, but no, Salty and Petty has our own.
I was gonna say, babes.
That's right. How can I forget Salty and Petty 69@gmail.com? Because I know if there's one email address of ours, you'll remember it's saltyandpetty69@gmail.com. Just think of Lilith. All right. So yes, find Salty and Petty on Facebook, on Twitter, Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks on Instagram, Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network on Hive, and again the YouTube channel. Once again, you got us to 269. Thank you so much. Lilith Hellfire demands that you get us to 369 now. So what?
369
and beyond.
There you go.
That's the next goal. That's I meant. All right. So yes, join Lilith Agents of Smash and smash that subscribe button.
Smash it.
And of course,
thank you, Justin. I love it.
And again, please, if you can, please subscribe to our Patreon. Help us support this mess. $3 to $5 get you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats. That genius, Mr. DG Chichester.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
All the old content is up there. New content coming this year. Lots of one and dones. Lilith and I already did this, that, or the third with each other, and more of the team is coming. I know I already asked Kristen. I think she's down for it. Justin said he'll do it. So, oh, you know, Justin and I said last night we need to get Ray on.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially because he is one of the Patreon elite. Get him and Russell in here.
Him, Russell, Justin, and that Brian.
I know. We were saying get Noel in here, ask him some questions. But yeah, we want Ray was in the chat room last night, and I was telling Justin about our fancy rich characters. And Ray was listening. Ray goes, you need to cosplay as Moon Knight. I said, I will cosplay as Moon Knight, Ray. I said,
but you have to cosplay as Batman.
Exactly.
Fair is fair.
That's what I said. I said, everyone wants to see that. Justin said he was down for. I said, Noel hates Batman, and he still was going to want to see that.
It'll ruin his rep. He won't get like the next mini series for Moon Knight if he does it.
Well, I said he could. The perfect excuse at Halloween, him and Finn can dress up as Batman and Robin.
Oh.
And then I said,
But no. Him and his wife can dress up as Moon Knight and Francine. Come on.
Oh, that's right. No, we want him in a Batman costume, remember?
I know.
And I said,
Nobody
but watch.
needs to do that.
But watch. Well, I said the him and Finn thing, but then watch. He'll put Finn in a Batman costume, and Ray will march around in a Robin costume, just so he doesn't have to wear Batman.
Oh, that would be funny, actually.
Oh, the original Dick Grayson costume. Ray got to show his legs. Oh. Come on, Ray. Lilith requested it. So yeah, subscribe to the Patreon.
How much you want me? What tier do I need to subscribe to for your Patreon, Ray?
Oh, Ray, she's willing to pay for them legs. Come on. All right, and pick yourself up some Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. All right, Lilith Hellfire. If people want to talk to you about nothing, where can they get a hold of you?
Well, you guys know I love to talk about nothing. That's why I'm on TikTok. And you can find me on TikTok at LilithHellfire69. You got to hit that plus button, though, because my content is for friends and followers only. Either do the 6 or do the 9. Very hard, very tempting. Let me get a message and say Capes and Lunatics sent you.
Yes.
I don't know whether to be excited or horny or both. Both is always a good principle. That ain't my business. It's nobody's business.
I want the jury rig a new drop something out of just stand over the toilet.
When in doubt, whip it out.
Whoa! Oh no! Do you have
another life pro tip from?
Do you have one of those buddy things where you put it on your like the funnel?
Oh God, that gets in the way. If you don't got aim, you ain't got aim. Just say that.
I meant for women,
Yeah, I know. If you ain't got aim, just say that.
Wow, Lilith Hellfire's got aim. Wow.
A lot of practice. Like I said, public restrooms are my personal hellscape. So
sure, public restrooms. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Hey, salty and petty, man.
Never know what life's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna.
That's right. We may talk about favorite TV shows. We may talk about Lilith Hellfire urination.
It's on the floor and I'm leaving. I mentioned the bisque. And this has been your weekly